Public Yemeni #1. Public Yemeni #1.
Technical difficulties, bitch. What you know about fucking having music going over? Yeah. Anyways, what's up, y'all? I hope you motherfuckers are doing just as good as me. I already fucked up. Can you believe that shit? I already fucked up, man. You can't do anything right in this country, this world anymore. I spelt Kiev wrong. Apparently. You know, I wanted to talk about the Ukraine and all that shit. Tried to do some research. Made the poster for the podcast last minute before going on. Spelled Kiev like I normally spell Kiev or heard Kiev. I actually used the word Kiev to trigger me into a Russian accent if I ever have to do one in acting. Kiev. Is this guy here. We kill him. See, now I'm there. Now I'm Russian. Kiev. You know, like my trigger word to like do Arabic accents is motherfucker or Jeep Cherokee. I drive a Jeep Cherokee. Fucking Kiev, bro. And apparently you can't even say Kiev. Here's the thing. I went to go research stuff on, which I think now is Kiev. Okay? I researched Kiev. Apparently it's supposed to be Kiev. I think. It's supposed to be K-Y-I-V. Kiev. Kiev. Can't say Kiev no more. Apparently, Kiev is the Russian pronunciation of it when Russia used to run shit. And the people in Ukraine, did you hear that I didn't say the Ukraine, bro? We all want to put the in front of Ukraine. Why? I don't know. But this is the thing. I'm trying to talk about what's happening on the ground, but we can't because now we have to talk about the and how I fucked up calling it Kiev. I'm from Russia. Yes. Kind of like Lulu Jovovich. She's a comedian friend of mine. I think she was on the second podcast. She might have been on the second podcast. Lulu Jovovich. I think she's a fucking Russian spy, man. She was born here, but she talks like she's got trying to keep the the American accent together. And then when you ask her, you're like, oh, wait, you were not born in Russia? Where were you born? Oh, I was born in L.A. Okay, what the fuck are you doing here? You're not doing comedy. You're here to steal our Bitcoin or some shit. Kiev. You can't say Kiev no more, bro. So apparently it's Kiev, and that is the original way that it is pronounced in the language, or how the Ukrainians, it's okay to put the in front of Ukrainians because we're talking about the Ukrainians. It's good. Apparently they don't like the way the Russians spelt it and pronounced it. And we dumb Americans, we don't fucking know, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, but Kiev sounds cooler than Kiev. It just does. Kind of like how Arab sounds better than Arab. Arab is supposed to be the derogatory way to say Arab. Arab is supposed to be kind of like our N-word, which is a weak-ass N-word. Because if you ask me, Arab sounds better than Arab. Arab sounds more definitive. Hey, the Arabs are here. What? Let's pay attention. If you say, hey, the Arabs are here, you're like, what? We got some spices in here? Some herbs? What is it? Some thyme? Some za'atar? What is this shit? Arab. Everything's all about, like, what are you going to say? How are you going to say it? Arab or Arab? Kiev or Kiev? I don't like Kiev because it sounds too close to either Keith or Keef, which is weed. Like, Keef is the dust, the weed dust. Ooh, I love Keef, man. You smoke Keef and you be okay with saying Arab. You'd be like, okay. That's how I got that. I'm like, Arab sounds cooler. Anyways, back on Kiev and Kiev. I fucked up. I'm trying to talk about what's going on, out there, trying to educate myself, but instead I instantly fall into this rabbit hole of like, yo, stop saying the word the. I'm like, what? Oh my God, I've been calling it the Ukraine. Like it's the Death Star. Speaking of the Death Star, the more I think about us Americans, we are the evil empire, man. I'm a fucking stormtrooper. God damn it, I'm a stormtrooper. Imagine that. This whole time I thought I was a good person. No. All I do is work every day, give 33% of my income to a government that takes all that money that I made and pays for like a $100,000 nut that goes on a bolt on a missile that they're going to drop on my uncle's house in Yemen. And then they put the American flag on it. We sold the weapon to Saudi Arabia. It's got the American flag painted on the missile. Why we got to put the American flag on it? Like, listen, man, I'm from Yemen. We're bombing Yemen with missiles that we're selling to Saudi Arabia. And I'm a United States Marine. So I'm really conflicted because, like, the Yemeni in me is like, yo, we got to stop bombing Yemen. And then the Marine in me is like, yo, we got to stop painting our flags on our fucking bombs. What the kind of fucking strategy is this shit, bro? And this makes sense, bro, because if we're going to blow up my uncle's house, at least I want him to know I wasn't a part of it. I don't want him to know I was a part of it. Hossam, what's going on, man? Hello. I don't think I've seen you here before. Appreciate you tuning in. He said they used to call it Kiev. Huh. They used to call it Kiev. Really? See, man, I'm a person that this piques my interest, and I'm like, well, okay, what do you mean they were called Kiev? I'm gonna keep the phone lines open if anybody wants to call and say anything. Like Jeremy Knox said, cue the Imperial March. I mean, for real though. Listen, man, I love America. I love being an American. But when you really pay attention, you're like, God damn, we are the stormtroopers, bro. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, Biden. Trump, 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 fat. Obama, 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 bum, 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 Yemen. Bro, remix that shit. Yeah, like Jason Baker says, we play both sides to make more money. Amen. Talk about some imperial shit, man. We're all sitting there going like, ooh, oh my God, and pray for Ukraine. Not the Ukraine. Don't say the Ukraine. It's Ukraine. Just like if you talk to a fucking Arab, don't call it Israel. It's Palestine. Ugh. Fucking don't start a war, bro. You better say the right shit. Bum, 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 bum. I was just about to say something, and then I got distracted. I was really going to make a fucking point, and then I fucking forgot. God damn it. Anyways, Technically Tracy, thank you. Hey, got a bunch of listeners. It seems like, I don't know why, but it seems like I'm getting a lot more listeners on the downloads on my solo podcasts than I do when I have guests on, and I wonder what that is. Do you guys just like my voice so much? But back to talking about calling things the right thing and the wrong thing, and it's just like, you ever notice in America, nobody really fucking cares except for white people that are angry. Like, okay, Yemen is getting obliterated right now, but it is not in the forefront of the media, right? Because it's shameful, because they'd rather report on what another stormtrooper country is doing to a fucking poor country instead of focusing on what our stormtroopers are doing to another fucking, poor country. But nobody really knows because it's not the cool thing right now. It's not the thing that's pushed on the forefront of the media. I mean, that's how things work in this country. I think that's how things work everywhere. I think the key to manipulation is to get people to feel like, hey, man, this thing that I'm doing or supporting is cool, right? So right now it's very cool to support Ukraine. Before any of this, I didn't know that it's called Kiev, not Kiev, and that I'm a racist now. But, sooner or later, Yemen's going to get pushed to the forefront, right? And then all of a sudden, you're going to get a bunch of angry white people going, Then all of a sudden, they're going to be like, there's a difference between North Yemen and South Yemen. The thing is that we kind of need those white people to feel like it's cool to stick up for Yemen like they're doing with the Ukraine, like this type of like caring where they don't really fucking care. They just care to get the brownie points and, create content. That's the fucking algorithm. The algorithm is Big Brother, bro. Everyone was talking about the eye of the beast. I think the algorithm's the beast, bro. Anyways, but that's for another topic. But once that Yemen gets into the forefront of like, yo, we got to save Yemen, I think it's a good thing. And then we just got to deal with the consequences of like ignorant Karens getting social brownie points to make them feel like they're a part of it now. Yusuf says, what's happening to them is sad, but what about people in Palestine? Are they going through the same and nobody cares? You know what? I kind of wanted to do a video about that. Thank you, Yusuf, for that comment. I was going to do a video about that. I wanted to do a funny video, a TikTok video, but I didn't get a chance to. But the idea was that, like, every brown guy right now, it's like you see like what's happening in Ukraine, and every brown guy is just like, yeah, but what about Palestine, bro? What about Palestine? Hey, man, but Palestine. You know what I'm saying? Palestine. And I agree, man. Trust me. I'm not trying to make fun of it. I'm just saying that it's really funny. Every brown guy on my feed, especially a comedian or someone who has something to say, is just straight up like, yeah, man. They're not saying, yeah, man. Nobody gives a shit about Yemen. They're saying, yeah, man. Ukraine, man, got it all fucked up. But what about Palestine? Cuz, don't forget about Palestine. Right now's the time to remember Palestine, cuz. Let's not only care about people if they have blue eyes. Even though I like fucking bitches with blue eyes. That ain't the point. Point is. But it is true though, man. It is Justin Trudeau that that we do care about race, man. Race is the thing. I think what answers your question, Yusuf, is not necessarily, do people not care about Palestine? I mean, it really does fall into race. There's in this, it's not just America too. It's like a subliminal racism throughout the world. And, some people say that it's the ripples of old white colonialism still affecting. So like for example, Indonesia. I remember when I went to Indonesia years ago, and I've been there since I was a kid, but it's been a long time since I've been there. So I went back in like my 30s. Now I'm much older. I can really notice what's going on. And a commercial came on for whitening, skin whitening cream. Okay, they were doing the opposite in Indonesia than what we were doing here. In this country, you see a lot of tanning, right? White people are the predominant population. There's more white people in America, so therefore, of course, majority of commercials and majority of companies are going to pander or, you know, get the attention of white people. So what we see here is typically, you know, when it comes to skin, it's white people tanning. White people trying to get darker, right? Then you go to Indonesia and Southeast Asia, and it's the opposite. It's brown people wanting to be lighter colored. In places in Southeast Asia, you'll see it'll be hot as fuck, sweltering, hot as fuck. Most people are driving mopeds, man, because they're fucking poor. They're so fucking poor, they got a family of 5 on one moped and a cat. And these motherfuckers are driving. It's hot as fuck, okay? They're wearing a mask. Even before COVID time, they wear a mask to cover their face. They wear a helmet. They wear sunglasses. They wear a turtleneck to cover their neck. They wear a long sleeve shirt. They wear gloves, okay? And you're just like, yo, it's hot as fuck. What the fuck are you doing? You know what they're doing? They're making sure that their skin doesn't get dark. Think about that shit. Isn't that fucking crazy? I don't think a lot of people realize that, right? And then when I look at that, I'm like, oh, they just want the opposite, right? Everyone wants what they can't have. Or for example, like even in like some African countries or a lot of caste systems, you know, in some of these countries, it's frowned upon to have really dark skin, you know, in like some African countries, because that is like, oh, you're a field worker. You see? Look at me. I'm not as dark as you because I come from a lineage of people that don't have to work outside. We hire people like you, you know? So like we think that racism is only, but I mean, when it comes to prejudice amongst human beings, it falls under so many different levels, man. You go anywhere from skin color to oh, you're from the north and I'm from the south, or I'm a Marine, you're a fucking Navy, or I have a dick and I'm gonna cut my dick off, or whatever. It's whatever it is, man. We're literally, every single one of us are just in it to fucking do it for race. And so when I go in Southeast Asia and I see these people, I'm like, yo, they're doing it because it's the opposite. And you know what, Yusuf? It's not the case. What it is it's the ripples of old white colonialism that ingrained in these people's mind at a very, very, years ago. I mean, in Indonesia, I think the Dutch ruled Indonesia for 400 years or something like that, right? Let me see here. Let me ask hold on. How long have the Dutch controlled Indonesia? Oh yeah, I think I turned my internet off. Let me see. Cause about 400 years. Something like that. How long Dutch? Yeah. God, it was a long ass time. Let me see here. In the 1600s. And then Indonesia got their independence like in the 1940s. Okay. Now, that is hundreds of motherfucking years of propaganda shoved down these people's minds that they're inferior and that white people are better than them because they run everything. The Dutch have a very long history of controlling Indonesia. The Dutch were the second group of people to commercialize coffee after the Yemenis. The Yemenis were the first one to introduce the world to coffee. It grows in Ethiopia. They took the plant from Ethiopia, grew it in Mocha in Yemen, in a place called Mocha, because the climate there is equivalent to the climate in Ethiopia where coffee originally came from. And they started commercializing it and making much money and introducing the Europeans to coffee. And the Yemeni kingdom at the time, in the 1600s, made sure they monopolized that. Like, if anyone was caught stealing a coffee bean out of Yemen, you fucking lost your head. But the Dutch successfully stole a coffee tree from Yemen, nursed it all the way to the island of Java in Indonesia, which they owned and colonized, and had the Indonesian people grow this plant in Indonesia. And then they tried to sell it into Europe. And the people in Europe didn't like the taste of that coffee from Indonesia because it didn't taste like the coffee from Mocha, which has a chocolate aftertaste if you drink like the coffee beans that are grown from Mocha. They didn't like the Java beans. So then the Dutch were smart. They were like, okay, so we'll create a drink and we're going to call it Mocha Java. And that is, you take these beans from Java, you put chocolate and sugar in it, and now you have this chocolate sugary drink called Mocha Java, and that's where Mocha Java comes from. And also, that's why fucking Indonesian people don't want to be dark. So that kind of answers your question, Yusuf, I hope, as to your question of what's happening to them is sad, but what about in Palestine? They are going through the same and nobody cares. People care, but people typically care more for what they can vibe with and feel. Not only that, our media in this country plays up that white is right and everything is wrong. And for so long, look at how our media shows us Palestine and Israel. Maybe now the cat is out of the bag, but for so long, an American viewer would watch Israel and they would assume that everyone there was white because a lot of the politicians or whatever, there's a mixture. There's a lot of people in Israel ethnically that are Arab, or they would call them Sephardic Jews, or people that were, indigenous of that area. So they're brown and they look like me. I didn't see that until I actually went to Palestine and Israel the first time in the 90s when I was in the military. I was blown away when I saw the Israeli soldiers and they all looked like they could be members of my family. In my mind, I thought they were white. That's because in our media, that is what they project. It's the easy manipulation tactic, and then you wonder why. Well, I mean, it makes sense if you're a media company and you want to get people to watch your shit, and 70% of the population is one race. Don't you think that you would cater to that race? I mean, there's a part of it that just makes economical sense. And then there's another part of it that makes you realize how and why the ripple effects are the way they are. In that, why is it that everyone cares so much about what's happening in Ukraine, not the Ukraine, and what's not happening in other places where the same thing or worse is happening for maybe much longer, or especially in Palestine's case, much longer. But then you don't have anybody fucking caring. And that's because propaganda. Bum 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 Biden sleeping. I haven't really been paying attention much to Biden, to anything, to be honest. I know you probably been listening to these podcasts back in the day, or like when I first started, I was very political because we were in the throes of an election. And usually those are the best times for me to pay attention, because that is the interesting time for me to see how easily people are manipulated. It's one of my favorite times. And if why do I call this public enemy? It's because I like interviewing people that go against the grain, like Davina who drinks pee, and the thing is that, everything is just being so fucking homogenized with our media. And, I fucking lost my train of thought. I'm fucking just trying to think about how delicious this Bang energy drink is, and that I drink it all the time, and I'm not even trying to get sponsored by them. It says lemon drop. It tastes like a lemon drop, but I know it's all chemicals because there's no sugar in here. None of this makes sense. And part of me is telling myself, hey, man, I'm not going to get cancer drinking this. Just like people used to think that cigarettes were healthy. People used to think cigarettes were healthy. Isn't that fucking crazy? Not only that, did you know the first slogan for Pepsi It was Pepsi, nutritious and delicious. Bitch, there ain't no nutrition in there. It is delicious, though. All right, what are we talking about here in the comments, man? I'm trying to go back. It's funny that business and organizations are giving money to Ukraine, preparing to donate to refugees. But what about Yemen? What about Palestine? Exactly. And that was, technically, Tracy, and that's exactly my point. And I think what I said earlier, that's exactly what I think it is. I really do. I got to take a sip of this, man. This is distracting. Fuck yeah. Okay. Enough about that. Let's move on. Spent about 26 minutes talking about depressing political manipulation tactics. Oh, shit. Here he goes. Technically, Tracy. Being technical. Here we go. The Russian pronunciation of Kiev, the Ukrainian pronunciation is Kiev. It's Shibolte. It's how language speakers can sort out who's from where. It's a Shibolte. Fuck, man. Tracy, I'm too stupid to know what that means. She goes, and we have conveniently forgotten about Darfur, Haiti, Hong Kong, etc. Of course, we're going to forget about it. Hossam, I think soon USA will play the same card with China and push Taiwan to the same situation. Possible. I mean, we had to have John Cena apologize in Mandarin Chinese. Did you guys see that shit? That was fascinating. I don't know if you've seen that, man. John Cena apology. China. So apparently, just on accident, John Cena, I think last year, just an accident, was talking and accidentally said, call Taiwan a country. I believe that's what it was. And then next thing you know, you have him. I'm going to play this. I must say, among many interviews I did for Fast and Furious 9, this is him speaking Mandarin. He goes, I made a mistake in one of them. Everyone asked me if I could use Chinese. People from Fast and Furious 9 gave me a lot of information. I was overwhelmed with interviews and lots of information. I have made a mistake. I must say that now, because it's very important. I really love and respect China and the Chinese people. I feel very sorry for my mistake. You must know that I really love and respect China and Chinese people. I'm really sorry. Bye. Wow. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that before, but holy shit. I mean, the threats are fucking real, son. They really are. I mean, if you really think about it, it's just funny, man. You can't even say that Taiwan, you can't even make the mistake. It's funny, man. It really is to me. I don't know, but interesting. Thank you for your comment. Sam, I appreciate it. Bolty, my buddy Bolty. What's up, buddy? Yeah, Bolty said, people care too much sometimes. Talk about a conservative, man. This is going back to what we were talking about, like somebody was saying that people don't care. And then Bolty goes, people care too much sometimes. Touche, motherfucker. You're right. Sometimes people care for the sake of looking cool that they care. So then they fucking lay it on thick because they're trying to cover the fucking stench of their shitty personality. Technically goes, Tracy goes, hey, Bolty, how do you mean care too much? Like put themselves into situations where they don't belong? Bolty says, yes, Tracy. If we all really cared about Ukraine, they'd be showing us more of it. Not propaganda that's going on now. It's all, what? Saber rattling? Oh, yeah. Bolty's asking me how am I getting fit in 40 days going. Did I say I was getting fit in 40 days? The fuck you talking about, bro? I don't remember saying that. Am I smoking so much weed that I forget that I said that I'm doing it? Jason Bacon says lemon drop bang, a.k.a. synthetic pee. You piece of shit. You're a turd. Werner's was created by a pharmacist. Oh, really? I was just talking about Werner's ginger ale the other night and how I didn't care for it. I don't care if I grew up in Detroit or not. I thought it was trash. Anyways, you motherfuckers got any questions? Anybody want to give a call? I'd like to know, Hossam, if you want to call in and teach me about this Russ Kiev, if you know anything really about it, unless... whatever. But yeah, I kind of went on a little rant there about the intricacies of saying things. If you guys want to call 313-915-4933, the lines are open right now. Yeah, and not only that, it's just it's funny, you know? Is it Burma or Myanmar? I say we call it Burma because it's easier to say. Is it Bombay or Mumbai? I like Mumbai because you can tell that's the right way to say it. Bombay is definitely how the white people were saying it. And when I looked it up, apparently that's exactly what it was. Bombay was the Anglicization, Anglo-Saxon, which is just a fancy word for white people. Did you know that Puerto Rico, which is an American territory, Puerto Rico, used to be spelled Puerto Rico in the early 1900s. I think maybe 1920 they changed it or something. Used to be, just to help white people understand it right, they spelled it P-O-R-T, Puerto Rico. If you look it up, man, it's funny because when you look at it, the way they spell it, in my head, I swear to God, I don't know why, but I'm just like a guy with a really thick Southern accent. What's the name of it? It's Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico. Okay, Puerto Rico, P-O-R-T-O-R-I-C-O, Rico. No, said it's Puerto Rico. It's P-U-E. No, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. It's just too much. Nah, man, it's Porto. I'm changing shit. I don't like the English language anyway. Why the hell we using a PH for an F? Just spell it pharmacy with an F, motherfucker. Phone, F-O-N-E, we done. We don't need any fancy spellings. Hell, I think my white ancestors created English in such a confusing way so that only aristocrats could command it. And when you can command a language and your slaves are too stupid to understand a PH and a GH and where it should go, where an F should be, well, then guess what? Then I got them under control. So I'm going to change that shit. It's Porto. You call it Puerto all you want. It's P-O-R-T-O, Rico. Okay? Okay. To be absolutely honest, I really think we should start doing that to the English language, bro. If we're going to start saying you can't say the, think about it, the Ukraine. The Ukraine. Hey, bro, I'm from the Detroit. I'm from the Detroit. I'm Mike from the Detroit. How stupid that sounds. I'm Mike from the Russia. We should all start doing that right now. Now we should just put the in front of it to show unison for how dumb we were with how we would talk about Ukraine. I bet you any money I'm going to listen to this podcast. I'm going to go back and I probably said the Ukraine when I probably shouldn't have. It's Ukraine. Gonna piss off a bunch of people, motherfucker. Palestine or Israel? Come on. We're gonna fight this fucking shit out. Guess who's gonna win? Israel. Because they have weapons from the United States. You know? I mean, it's really funny, like, how, like, brown people in this world, we're getting all the love, like the virtue signaling love finally all of a sudden, like, yay, Arabs can be on TV now. But at the same time, it's still like, yo, I don't care about us bombing your people. Maybe they should use that white light skinning cream shit they use in Indonesia. Maybe if the Yemenis looked more fair skinned. But there are Yemenis that look fair skinned, motherfucker. Like my friend Edhem. Fucking guy. The motherfucker, he's got green eyes, long, like light brown hair. You can't tell he's fucking Yemeni. He looks like he's gonna steal your fucking girlfriend. Have you read George Orwell's 1984 recently? Changing language and place names is part of rewriting history. Yeah, that is true. I mean, you know. I'm having fun with this podcast, y'all. I'm having fun with this one. Really. I haven't done a solo one in a minute. And, you know, I kind of wish I had like a place with 2 bedrooms, because then I would be able to, you know, just have one room dedicated to this. This I got to keep putting up and down. But it'd be nice if I had like a nice dedicated spot sooner or later. It'd be nice to be able to do a guest and a solo podcast in 1 week. Oh, also, I had to cancel my Las Vegas shows. I had a whole week of shows that was supposed to be this week at the Strat at LA Comedy Club, but I had to cancel it because some exciting news. Meow, meow. We'll see what's up, though. But yeah, absolutely. Got some exciting news coming up. I don't like to talk about it until it actually happens. Does anybody want to give me a call, teach me a little something? Boricua. Yeah. Technically, Trey said Boricua. That's right. It's another way to say Puerto Rico or Puerto Rican. Motherfuckers. See, there's one more thing I want to talk about real quick before we take off. So my podcast audio version is now up to date. You know, I am now uploading pretty much the next day after I go live. So that's really cool. I probably should give out some of my dates that are coming up. I'd love for you guys to come see me live sometime. I don't really have too many dates in the States. I had to cancel a bunch of stuff because some stuff were coming up. But this Tuesday, 8:30 p.m., I will be at the Ha Ha Comedy Club. That's Tuesday, March 22nd, 2022. Ha Ha Comedy Club. You'll be able to see me there on the 22nd. March 29th, which is also a Tuesday, I will be at the Hollywood Improv, 7:30. So this Tuesday, Ha Ha Comedy Club. Next Tuesday, I will be at the Hollywood Improv for Hilarious Habibis. That should be a fun show. And then at the end of March and beginning of April, I will be at the Looney Bin in Little Rock, Arkansas. I love that club. Y'all motherfuckers need to come out, man. That is such a fun club to do. I love y'all in Little Rock. You guys are fun people. Also, April 9th, I'll be at the Culver City Comedy Show back in LA. And wow, April 10th, I'm doing Chocolate Sundays April 10th? This is confusing me. I gotta look that up. I don't think that's right. That must be... Okay, anyways, April 15th to April 16th, I will be in Cabo, motherfucker. I'm going to be doing the Hard Rock Cafe in Cabo San Lucas. And then I'm back at the Looney Bin April 28th to the 30th. That's Wichita, Kansas. Yeah. And then I, definitely check out my website, MikeFromDetroit.com. I also got Public Yemeni t-shirts and Drop Bacon Not Bomb t-shirts for sale. And I'm going to be posting some videos coming up really soon. So I'm cutting up some crowd work stuff, some small clips from stand-up shows. Going to be spending time piecemealing some of these greatest moments from the podcast and start putting that up on my Instagram and my YouTube. So definitely stay tuned for that, guys. I can't wait to take this podcast to the next level because, you know, this is it's great, especially to get all these you guys to watch live and all you guys listening to the recordings. I love you. You guys are great. I might be setting up a Patreon in the future and like doing some bonus content. Yeah, and then the Ed and Moe Show, me and my buddy Mike are still writing that. I don't know about the deal with this producer. We'll see what happens because, listen, man, when it comes to these deals, man, you got to make sure everything is right, honestly. Sometimes you got to make concessions, but sometimes some people, man, you know, you got to get to it. All right, well, those are my dates that are coming up. Okay, y'all talking. What do you mean, Bolte, Wichita, Kansas? What the fuck? Motherfucker, there's a comedy club there. Those people need to laugh. You know what I'm saying? Or catch some of this Yemeni dick. Ladies. I'm single. I might have to fucking shave my beard, man, for this thing that's coming up. Or, like, cut it down a bit. I'm not looking forward to that. You're in Oxford here soon, right? Yes, I am in Oxford, Michigan. I am in Oxford, Michigan in May, I believe. Right? I think it's Gravel Capital Brewing. Is that what it is? Gravel Capital. Yep. Gravel Capital Brewing. I will be there in Oxford, Michigan, May 20th, Friday, 8:30 p.m. If you're there, holla at ya, boy. All right, guys, I gotta end this. It's time for me to do some other. Why is it that right when I'm about to end, man, more people start showing up? I feel like the algorithm fucking me. I think the algorithm knows, oh, he's done, man. Let's just throw some more people in here. Any of you guys that are just signing on, y'all motherfuckers better fucking follow me, all right? Mike from Detroit on everything. Instagram, Twitter. I'm on Pornhub. I am. When I'm not getting laid. Oh, man, fuck porn. That's what it used to sound like when I used to bust a nut when I was younger. Fucking shoot it across the room and break a window, you know? Now that I'm older, I come like, what the fuck was that? Did you really finish? Like, as you get older, man, not much cum comes out. It dribbles out.
Come on, man.
That's what Biden's dick sounds like when he comes. That's like when
Come on, man.
Yeah. You know, like back in the day, you would bust a nut, and the people next door be like, "Amazing, bro! You fucking did it." Now half the time my dick's like,
"Come on, man."
Y'all stupid. Y'all fucking stupid, man. Fuck you, Jason. He said, Eshaq, do get past the dribble. Do some Kegel exercise. Motherfucker, I'm the Kegel king, bro. The fact that I'm not shooting across the room is because I'm fucking old and I'm not generating as much as quickly as enough. If I want to shoot a load across the room, I got to like not have sex or jerk off for like 3 years, you know? And then it's like, but then my refractory period will be 3 years. Work that PZ fee muscle. Man, fuck all y'all, man. Trying to fucking roast me in my own fucking show. Pieces of shit. I'm going to ban y'all. I'm banning all y'all motherfuckers. You guys are not allowed. That's it. I'm just going to hit ban, and then and then you're not here anymore. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing. Exactly. All right, motherfuckers. Look on the screen over there. Somewhere on the screen this should come up. Nope, it didn't come up. Why not? God damn it. All right, well, you can see it right there. Mike from Detroit on everything. Follow your boy. Also, bro, I got an email list. And it is, there's a number. I'm going to get this all. I should get this on the actual page, but I want you guys to subscribe to my email list if you're listening to this, because it's a real easy way to know that I'm in your town. So I got this number that you can text, and once you text the word Mike to this number, you'll be able to answer 3 questions. One will be, what's your email, what's your name, what's your zip code, and that there is going to help me to send you a message when I'm doing a show somewhere around your area. So the number is 206-207-5422. 206-207-5422. Text Mike to that number and answer the 3 questions. And that way, when I am in your town or near your town, you will get an email to know that I'll be doing a live show in that area. I'm also looking forward to starting a tour with some other people. So not only will I be bringing myself, I'm really looking forward to making some shows and bringing some other really funny people, man. There's some hilarious untapped comedy. And also, man, I'm really looking forward to bringing people that are also big names too. But in the end, guys, 206-207-5422. Text Mike to that, and I will only send you an email if I'm in your area, or if I'm like, hey, I'm on Netflix, bitches, so I'm not going to bombard you with dumb shit. Guys, I love you. This was a fun podcast. It's Kiev or Kiev. Still not sure. Going to figure it out. We're done with the word the. You don't put the word the in front of Ukraine. You're done. Don't do it. Just before you say the Ukraine, say, hey, I'm from the Kansas. Oh, wait a minute. I'm from the Wichita. I'm from the Poconos. That's different. Okay. You guys are beautiful. You're lovely. I hope you guys are taking care of yourself. I hope you guys are reducing stress in every which way you can. And I hope you are living a pleasant life. And I hope the rest of your day and the rest of your week till I see you next week, Wednesday, 2 p.m. is awesome. All right, guys. Deuces.
Public Yemeni #1.